Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the sine rule to find a side in a non-right angle triangle. The sine rule can be used for either a side or an angle. But today we're just going to focus on a side. So let's have a look at the sine rule here. Probably the easiest one to kind of remember, and again it is on the formula sheet. So it could be ABC all over sine ABC. So just remember your little letters are your sides and your capital letters are your angles. We can also actually use sine rule on a right angle triangle if we've forgotten how to do a right angle trig, for example, SOHCAHTOA. And you'll probably see that later on in another video. Okay, let's get straight to an example. Right, so example 1, I want the side labelled X. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to label my opposite sides. So opposite capital A will be little a, opposite capital B will be little b, and opposite capital C will be little c. Now if you write out your formula, we have A over sine A, B over sine B, and C over sine C. What we then do is we tick off the angles that we know. We know capital A and capital B. Then you tick off what you want to know and what sides you know. So we know the side 5 is little b and we want the side little a. So we are going to be using the formula using the A's and B's only. We're not using the C's. Another thing I want to point out though, which if you have a look at the triangle, notice that the side C has absolutely nothing written at it for the side, nothing written at it for the angle. So I'm not using C's. For sine rule to be able to work, you have to kind of make a cross in the triangle with your information. So I want side X, I need the angle that's opposite that. I know side B is 5, I also need the angle opposite that. That's the information I'll be using. So to do our substitution, we're going to replace A, little a with X, and capital A with 35. So we have X over sine 35 equals B is 5 over sine 40. Now from there, there's a wee bit of change of subject needs to go on. We want X on its own. So at the minute, this thing here, this sine of 35 is in the way. X is being divided by sine 35. So the way to counteract that is to times the opposite side by sine 35. So it's going to come up here and join the number 5. So we're going to have X equals 5 times sine 35 all over sine 40. So then go to your calculator, type this in. My tip would be if you're using the fraction button, by that I mean the fraction button that comes up like this when you press it. You then type in the top line, type in the bottom line. If you're not doing the fraction button, I would make sure you close your bracket on the sine 35. So when you go press sine, if your calculator opens a bracket, make sure you close it after the 35. If it doesn't, you could always press equals after the top line. I do definitely prefer the fraction button for this. So type that in, you should get, and I should point out you have to close the fraction button as well when you're doing the top line and the fraction, and you should get 4.4616. So we'll just say 4.46 centimetres, and that was to 2 decimal places. That's you done your first sine rule. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Okay, so in this one, we want this side here that's going to be known as little p, this blank one is little q, and this one is little r. Now, if I go to my formula and change my formula to p, q's, and r's, it's easily done. Oops. Sine p, sine q, and sine r. I know little r, and I want little p. And in terms of my angles, I know sine q and I know sine r. I don't have 2 ticks and 2 ticks. Going with what I said in the last slide, you need to be able to draw a line from the side you know to an angle and the side you want to an angle. I don't actually have that angle there. I don't have angle P. But can you work it out? Have a look at the triangle. Can you get angle P? Of course you can. Angles in a triangle make 180. So P will be 180 minus your 52 minus 46. So take them away and you should get 82. Okay, so P, although we didn't have it initially, we can go work it out. So we do have sine P. Okay, we're going to have to get that first. So it's 82. So we have our unknown over sine 82 equals 6 over sine 46. So sorry, I should have scored out there that we weren't actually using the Q's at all. We need to move the sine 82 up. It's divide at the moment, so it becomes a times. So 6 times sine 82 all over sine 46. Remember the different ways of going to a calculator. Be very careful typing it in. Double check you're getting the same answer as me and that we're typing it in okay. I use the fraction button and I make sure I close any brackets that the calculator opens. And it gives me 8.259. So that would be 8.26 centimetres to 2 decimal places. I would always do 1 or 2 decimal places when you're working out a side with an angle. It's okay to do the nearest whole number, but 1 or 2 decimal places if it's not specified, okay? So that was that one. So that's the sneaky one, where you initially think, oh, I don't have enough information to do sine rule, but you do actually if you do something else. So my third example is always non-calculated if possible. So we have this, okay? We are asked to find the side LM, so we're asked to find little k. We know little l and we have nothing for little m. We don't have any angles, but we are told something for sine k and we are told something for sine l. So if I write out my formula, so k, l and m, it doesn't matter if I don't put it in the right order, but anyway, so sine k, sine l and m. So as I said, I've got something for sine k and sine l. Okay, oh, they look a bit strange. I want to get little k and I know little l, so I'm not using my m's. So k is what I'm after, so let's just leave it as k. Now sine k, they've told us sine k is 0.4, so I replace the whole bottom line with 0.4. That's the tricky bit that people can't get their heads around. But if we've told you sine k is 0.4, then it works. 0.4 is the same as sine k. L is 18 and sine L is 0.9. So different ways to go from here. There's so many different ways. I could try simplifying the 18 over 0.9 first of all. Or I could do cross multiplying. Basically what we did in the last examples is I told you to bring that up. So that's probably what most people would do. And they would do 18 times 0.4 all over 0.9. Now, from there, I would probably try, and you can times things by 0.4, but I don't want to have to go and do any actual sums outside my page. Hopefully you agree, if I times the top number by 10, that would get rid of the decimal of 0.4. And rules of fractions say, whatever you do to the top, you must also do to the bottom. So I'm going to times top and bottom numbers by 10. That leaves me with 18 times 4 on the top, and it leaves me with just 9 on the bottom. Now, that 18 and 9 can cancel down. 18 divided by 9 is 2, which leaves me with 2 times 4. So k is 8 centimetres. Okay, as I said, there are other ways to go from the step up here, but to me that looks like the simplest way. Some of you might know that 18 divided by 0.4 is 20, and then do 20 times 0.4, which becomes the same as 2 times 4, also 8. So that's the last example. Thank you and good luck with the sine rule.